Hello and welcome to another lesson about Bluefort's license and subscription app embedded in Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Finance and Supply Chain, otherwise known as Finance and Operations app. So in this lesson we'll continue the theme of revenue recognition. In this lesson I'm going to show you some more features we have in Lisa which will help you have a very flexible framework for posting your revenue recognition related to subscriptions. So here I'm in the Finance and Operations client, and this is the product details form for my product. So I've created a new product which I'll be using specifically for revenue recognition. Just like we did in other scenarios, I've set this product to be a subscription product, set up some fields, but I also created the flag, also checked the flag which is used for revenue recognition entries, and this means that this product will be used across the board only to do revenue recognition and won't be used for invoicing. So these type of products will never show up when this flag is ticked. These type of products will never show up on customer invoices or purchase invoices from suppliers. So what I've also done is I've put this product to be a related product to the same product we've used in the previous lesson, the Teams license. Maybe you remember that. If not, please refer to the last lesson. And if we zoom into now the released product, which is the product which is specific to this particular company, if you scroll down to the bottom, I've also set up some fields which are linked to subscription management. I've set this to be the 10% of the parent amount. I've set it up to be the 10% of the full parent amount, not the discounted. So the full parent amount could also be the list price in your case. And also the automatic add-on is set to yes. So that means that in order to make it easier for the user, every time the parent is inserted, the add-on or the child product is also inserted on the same subscription plan. This feature of automatic add-ons is not specific to revenue recognition, and you could also use it in normal items where you always add an add-on to a particular product. But in this case, I'll be using it for revenue recognition purposes. So that summarizes the configuration you need to do in order to create a product and a released product which will only be used for revenue recognition. So now I will move over to the subscription management cockpit. I will create a new subscription plan. I will choose the program, and I can also use the same billing posting profile that I've used in the previous lesson, so that I can do my revenue recognition for my license, for my Teams license, and also then we'll do it separately for support. So I'll use a yearly cadence there for my billing cycle, and I'll set the renewal options as well, so that I'll have starting from 1st November a term of 1 year, and I can optionally also renew to self. So now I will create this Teams license again, just like in the previous lesson, with my required quantity, and again my revenue recognition is calculated automatically, but in this case now I'll decide to change the value. So I now would like to recognize 1080 as revenue recognition, because the remaining 10%, like we saw on the setup of the release product here, the remaining 10% we will recognize it as support and not on the same cadence as the license. So the split revenue recognition configuration is the same like in the previous lesson. So I'll have the 10% of 1080 in this case, 50% of 1080, and 40% of 1080 being recognized in the first 3 billing cycles. So I can do that. And then what I can do here is go to my, so yeah, as you can see, it automatically created the revenue recognition item for me because I configured it as an automatic add-on here. It marked it with this icon on the left hand side, which is showing that it's a revenue recognition item. And that means, again, I'm repeating this because it's important, when it's a revenue recognition item, this no sales order or sales lines or purchase order or purchase lines will be created, and these items are just used for revenue recognition and won't end up on the invoice for the customer. There's also this little up arrow here which is showing you that this product is an add-on, but that's also applicable to other scenarios outside of revenue recognition. I'll now drill into the details here, and what I'll do, so the 120 is the 10%, so that's good, it's automatically calculated. And now I'll use the 12 months pre-post revenue recognition. So in this case, I've selected now, I've overridden the billing posting profile on the line level here, and if you view the details, in this case I'm going to post an accrual scheme for 1 year in advance. So that's gonna be the basically the revenue recognition 1 year for the first cycle for support. So I will do this, and actually what I need to do as well is I need to edit again the revenue recognition amount there, because in reality I will have 3 cycles doing the 180 revenue recognition for support. So I will, in that case, the value is gonna be 660. Let me just verify that on my end here. So yes, that's correct. So 660 is going to be revenue recognition for your license, and the rest is going to be for your support. And it's also worth noting that the financial dimensions as well can be granular per line. So if you want to post your revenue recognition for support on a different financial dimension set, that of course also support it, and it's part of the flexibility that we offer here in Lisa. So now I'll go ahead and publish. I'll run the master process, and now as you can see we have an extraction generated for the second line, and the action type, it's revenue recognition. So in this case, when I firm this revenue recognition, there, as like I said before, there won't be any sales lines created for that revenue recognition entry. So I firmed now my actions. I will now post my invoice. So I've posted my invoice, and now it also posted the first cycle of my license revenue recognition like we saw in the previous lesson. And I've also posted my revenue recognition entry. So as you can see on the right hand side, now they're both linked to a journal. And if we go to the audit trail here, refresh our audit trail, we have the audit entry from the posting of the sales order invoice like we saw in the previous lesson, which includes these figures based on the percentage of the schedule. And then we also have here the amount which is recognized over the number of months. So it's 10% of 1200 is 120, like you recall correctly, and then that 120 is split over the 12 months using the standard Dynamics 365 accrual scheme. So these 12 entries here are linked to this billing posting profile. They're coming from here, 12 months pre-post revenue recognition, and the entry here. So the first two entries are actually the sales invoice, right? The debit debtors or debit account receivable, credit deferred revenue, and this posting here comes from the details of the line, which is linked to the split revenue recognition and to the schedule. So this is the end of the lesson. I really hope you appreciate how powerful and how flexible the framework of Lisa is to support all your revenue recognition requirements. But just in case you would still want to use the standard Dynamics 365 revenue recognition module, we do support integration from the billing posting profiles to that module, and that will be the topic of one of the upcoming lessons in this course. So you have the options. We've seen various options. You can use accrual schemes. You can use accrual schemes in conjunction with an invoice. You can use accrual schemes in conjunction with revenue recognition item. You can use schedules, and again, schedules, they can be used either with a normal item or else with a revenue recognition item. And you could also you integrate with the standard revenue recognition module. And if your revenue recognition scenarios are easily supported in that module, you can do that as well. So these are the options we offer in Lisa for revenue recognition. So hang on tight for the next lesson about using a billing posting profile linked to standard Dynamics 365 revenue recognition. Thank you very much.